Okay. Okay. Let's hope. Hi. Hi. While y'all come in, I'm going to take like 2 bites. Hi, hi, hi. How are ya? I'm good, except I have the most uncomfortable chair they could possibly find me to sit in. My ass is already hurting because I didn't do one patient today. Thanks so much for messaging me, Cass, but please don't. All right. Hang on. I'm coming. Let me just get me up so I can see what we're doing. I don't know if I want to start taking a bite here or not. Just 2. Oreo. Okay. Who do we got? Stephen, Katie, Cameron, Tarapple, who is Maya. Okay, Cassie. Thank you. Please stop. Actually, let me just message her real quick because come on. Come on. Oh my goodness. I hope everyone is great. Just waiting for my stupid internet. Nope. I keep clicking on it. Has nothing to do with anything. Okay. Hopefully that will stop that. Beautiful. There goes the plow. It's snowing a lot. All right, let me just take 2 bites, really. Because I didn't bring lunch with me. And it was snowing and I didn't feel like going out. So I did eat a bagel this morning, but that's it. I really wish I had some kind of... Oh, there's a pillow. I'm going to sit on the pillow. Because it was my evening shift today, and I did not do one patient. Which means my evening shift went tick, tock, tick, tock. Yes, very. And my ass already hurts. It is. Okay. Oh, good. I did. At least I brought my drink up. Or I would be dead. Okay. Got the dragon with me tonight. I'm wearing my new shirt. Yes, I got home. I was wearing a really pretty sweater. But you guys know me. As soon as I got up here, I was like, oh, hell no. And now I have the window in front of me open because I was dying of heat already. So, no. All right. Yes, Papa Squirrel has 1,000 subs. Woohoo! Congratulations to Papa Squirrel. I'm so happy for him. In the barn making a gift for the exchange. No problem, honey. Very good, Papa Squirrel. What am I looking for? Oh, my glasses, which I just pulled out. Yay, 1,000 subs. That is awesome. I was saying, I had to look through my videos for something. I was looking for something specific that I ended up not being able to find. Now I can't remember what it is. But I think it was like a year ago that I don't know. I shouldn't say because my numbers are terrible and you guys know that. But I swear I was celebrating like 600 or something like a year ago. But it might have been 2 years ago. Can't remember. But that is freaking awesome. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Tarot Tuesday. Yay. I really miss my tarot room. Which, you know, surprisingly enough, this is my tarot room. It's just like everybody's throw shit here room too. So, reminder to change the focus at the start of class. I did change the focus. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that this will actually focus now. Because I don't know what I'm doing with the camera. You've had way more than 1,000 since I've said that was a little over a year ago. Really? Oh, it must have been 2 years ago, though. I know. Oh, yeah, it was 2 years ago, I bet. Because, hi, puppy. I know you can't reach me right now. Oh, you can reach my food, though, can't you? And now the cat's up here on this side. She's all right. She didn't do it yet. I just realized that it was within her range. No, she's fine because I don't think she can come around this way. I think we're good, but she's not going to be very comfortable there.
You don't think she can get that?
I think I'll notice if she gets that.
If you need her height, just let me know.
See, she's there. The little puppers. Yes, she is. She's so good. Yay. Okay. Now this is not even, and that drives me crazy. So give me 1 sec. All right, that's a little better, right? Good. Okay. Hi, puppers. I know I haven't had time to say hello to you or anything. I'm sorry. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm sorry I'm not gonna say hello to everybody individually, but hi. And I love you guys. And hi everyone. So tonight's card is one of my favorites, and I know I was laughing about this last week, huh? Because I said this last week that this was one of my favorites, and the card before that was one of my favorites, and the one before that was probably one of my favorites. So, this is one of my favorites. So I love the moon card. How much snow do you have so far? I don't think, well, it's just today. Are you counting just today or what we have on the ground? We had a couple inches on the ground already, and but it just started again tonight. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it has snowed very much yet, but I guess we are supposed to maybe get quite a bit. But okay, let's begin, because we know how I talk endlessly, right? Is it usually on the other side? Now I suddenly feel like my computer is usually over here, but I might be wrong. I think I switch back and forth. All right, so this is the moon card, and it's wonderful. Just got it. Can't wait to use it. Oh, just got what? What did I miss? Nurturing? Sad. Does anyone use the Llewellyn's Witch's Datebook? I have it, I think. Is that the one I got? And I have not used it for 2020 yet. And I had it, I think for 2018 I had it and I use it. But I didn't have one last year, so. All right. This is the moon card. Let me get our first book out, which is The Ultimate Guide to the Tarot. This is Liz Dean's book. And this will kind of break down a very general kind of symbology and meaning. Secondhand, out of date. Yeah, that's probably a good idea because you can get it cheap, right? All right, Gypsy. Okay, so alternative names are Illusion and Luna. It's linked with the number 18, and the numerology link is 9, the Hermit. And that is, again, linked to 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. So the Hermit is card 9. So the numerology link is the Hermit. Astrological sign or planet is Pisces the fish. The element is water. The chakra is third eye for intuition, key meanings, illusions, dreams, and crisis. All right, hang on one second, because you know what? This, now suddenly I'm like, oh, is this really high? Because I feel like my arms are going to get tired. So I have to come a little bit closer. You're my kind of man. So big and so strong. Come a little bit closer. I'm all alone. And the night is so young. Okay. Here we go. If you were to buy one book for tarot, what one would you recommend? Yes, because of the numerology, it's linked. It depends on what you were looking for in a book. Like if you wanted the book to tell you the symbols and just key meanings and stuff, this is a good one. If you wanted a book that spoke your language and, you could maybe understand the card better after reading that book, then that would be My Modern Tarot by Michelle T. If you wanted a comprehensive, everything you ever wanted to know about that card, Holistic Tarot. So that's why the three of them together, that's why I like the three of them together. Because it's pretty comprehensive that way. Hi, Dad. Okay, the Moon card is a card of duality and emotional turmoil with its two... Wait, can you get to my food down there? Is that why you're here? You're sniffing for my food, aren't you? I don't know if I want to put it in front of... Here, we'll put it right there for now. All right. Duality and emotional turmoil with its 2 foreboding towers and 2 howling dogs. One dog appears domesticated while the other is wild, a wolf even, representing the dual aspects of internal conflict. So our wild id side and our kind of domesticated, following the rules kind of side. That's the dog and the wolf. The sun moon above appears to gaze upon the scene below, but the eyes are closed. The solar aspect, the perspective of daylight, is blind under moonlight. The central crayfish appears to be struggling halfway between the water toward land. Something very important is about to surface. So sometimes it's a crayfish, sometimes it's a crab for the astrological sign Cancer. The crayfish stands for the fearful self. So there's 2 meanings for this, because I have heard several people say it is about your internal fear. In the Disney deck to show One Wild, One Tame. Really? What dogs is that? Is that like Pluto or something? I have heard some people talk about the crayfish coming out of the water, meaning the internal fear, the fear that we have of moving forward in this new expanse and enlightenment that we have discovered with the Star card, which is the one before this. And I have also heard the crayfish meaning coming out of the primordial ooze, the enlightenment, coming through the enlightenment and starting your life in a different fashion. You have realized things in a different way. And okay, Marge, thanks. And you are coming out of that primordial ooze to start life in a different place. He can glimpse the long and winding road that yawns beyond the dogs and towers. He senses that the others have trodden this path before, but can he follow? And if he does, is there a reward for taking this risk? Under the light of the sun moon, what he is seeing may be an illusion, pure fantasy. As A.E. White says, the card represents the life of the imagination, apart from the life of the spirit. This is the dark night of the soul, a lonely time when there is little but moonlight to guide us. We, like the crayfish, will need to make a decision in order to resolve the conflict between staying in a safe place we know and taking the challenge of the unknown. In the major arcana sequence, the moon rises after the star card and before the sun. With the star, we have realized our guidance, the path we must follow. And the moon shows the hidden impact of this realization, when deep-seated doubts and fears are realized. The sun is the resolution of this dark night, a sanctuary before we make our final judgment on our actions, before the ending and the beginning of our journey with the world. To heal the conflict of the moon, we need to embody our higher self, our soul wisdom, of which as human I am. Hello, Milton. Yes, that was great participation this week. I agree. Really great participation, for sure. Everybody, we had a lot of different cards. Everybody kind of participated in their own way. I really liked it. That was really good, you guys. They all have to make such noise. Okay. You know what, Kitty? I love you, but you're going to have to give me a little room. All right. Now we're going to go to the Tome of Tarot, Holistic Tarot by Benabel. All right. No problem, Katie. Between two pillars, which, by the way, what do the pillars remind you of? There's two pillars in this card, too. Does it remind you of another card in the Major Arcana? The Tower card? Yeah, a little bit. I always think of the High Priestess. This is the card that is like pulling away. Yes, the High Priestess. This is the card that's like pulling away at the veil. So you're able to walk through that veil. And if you were able to walk through that veil, then you would need to use your intuition more. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry, you guys. But I love this card so much. You would be able to use your intuition more, though. And you have shadows. But you would be able to dive into those shadows more on the veil side, right? Yes, BJ. I was thinking Never Ending Story, right? Oh, it's kind of like that too, for sure. Between two pillars, a dog and a wolf howl at the moon, one on each side of a path leading from the water to the mountains. A crayfish crawls out onto land. A waxing moon is embedded in the sun. The sun moon has a face, a side profile, stern and in deep contemplation. Leaves from the tree of life float down to the earth. So we see those leaves from the tree of life floating down, right? A reflection of the inner self is emerging. The moon represents the shadow of the self, the unconscious mind, repressed weaknesses. It suggests the accumulated repressions are now causing the seeker's shadow to surface and affect the self-conscious. Facets Speaking of Papa Squirrel, I have to say I watched his video tonight of beginner tarot, yay or nay, and yes, and it does, Deb. And I was laughing at his outtakes, and I'm like, yeah, you have the ability to do that editing, so you can put them in there if you want. Me, I'm all out there doing that all the time. They're used to me. Facets that have been repressed or are latent in the seeker are now emerging and influencing the present consciousness. There is tension between that which has been repressed and that which is in the present consciousness. And that tension is a source of the seeker's problems. Yay, Pat! So, again, we are talking about, we have been through, hi, Dana. Hi, Dawn. We have been through the enlightenment of the star, and we want to step forward and use that enlightenment, but it's a little scary. It's a little scary to step forward with this new knowledge, with this new spirit that we have put on with the star card, and move forward. So everything seems like they're in shadow a bit, right? Thank you. Me too. I love it. The theme of the moon is constant change, duality, and dichotomy. The tame side and the wild side are at odds. So you can think of, I always think of the, the little devil and the little angel that are your consciousness on either side in the cartoons. I always think of the dogs. That's what they represent, that piece of you. The little angel saying, yeah, step forward. You can do this. You've got this. And the devil on the other side saying, oh, I don't know if we're ready for this. We don't really know what we're doing yet. We're kind of just learning this stuff. I don't know if we want to move forward with this enlightened self. We might want to pretend we're our old self for a while. Right? Intuition is strong. There may be secrets. Compare the high priestess, which represents personal mystery, while the moon represents physical mystery. The high priestess suggests secrets that a person is withholding. The moon represents secrets of the natural world, the hidden condition of the seeker's situation that will reveal itself in time. The moon represents poetry and mystery. It suggests a seeker with hidden abilities to harness both tame elements and wild elements, while the high priestess suggests a mystical or metaphysical mystery. The crayfish or lobster in the foreground symbolizes the seeker's emotional and intuitive state. It suggests the prevailing water energies in the seeker's life. The crayfish is also a scavenger, suggesting a subconscious inclination in the seeker to take from emotional leftovers, to scavenge in a sense. So that scavenger aspect is one that goes very well with this card. Because again, we have taken the star as like the enlightenment period, that waking up to a new spiritual essence, and realizing that you want to move forward in your life in a different aspect than you were used to. You have spiritually awakened. And then when the moon card comes up, you are being asked to move forward, and you have fears about that. So the scavenger in us wants to take stuff from our comfortable life that we knew before. It wants to take the things that in the shadow we can still tell what they are. That we are not moving forward into something brand new. Know what I mean? I hate missing your guys' intuitions. And okay, there was a really good exercise where you shuffle your deck and find the moon to the sun, and everything in between is what you need to do to get there. Ooh, that's good. I like that too. That's really good. Awesome. Hello, Jessica. Absolutely. I like that. There is a strong theme of conservation in the card rather than exploration or expansion. There is also a sense of needing to feel protected and thus forming the tough outer shell. Simultaneously, there is a profound vulnerability that the seeker is trying to conceal from the others. In the Middle Ages, the crayfish was believed to have medicinal properties and was able to ward off the plague. If this, yeah, I don't want to go too deep into comparing it to other cards, but I love Benebell, but boy, she goes in really deep, right? So, and I don't want to go too deep yet. Let's finish up with Modern Tarot by Michelle T. My woman. Behold the moon, a reflective ball of stone orbiting our planet. And before I continue, sorry guys, keep in mind that something that I try to remember is that the moon does not carry any of its own light, right? The moon is just able to reflect the light of the sun. So the shadows that you see are the reflections of the things that we are needing to do shadow work on. It's the reflections of things in the sun that we've kind of tucked away. And in the moon's reflection, the moon's light that we see, at least kind of glimmers over it so that we can go, oh, I forgot I put that here. I forgot that I tried to hide this away in the shadows. Let's bring it out into the moonlight where maybe it's not quite so harsh and we can look at it and see if that's something that we can change and see if maybe it's ready to move on to the sunlight or if we still need to do some work on it in that moon reflecting light, right? Does that make sense? The moon still gives us the light that gives us sight in the darkness. Without it at night, we would almost be blind unless we made our own light, right? But it's not the moon's light. It's the sun's light. And it's just able to reflect what the sun is giving it. Hi, Grown. What about the dark side of the moon, the side we never see? That's the stuff, I believe that that's the stuff that we just know we're never going to be able to deal with. You know, there's some things that have happened in life that just need to be tucked away. And knowing that pretty much you're never going to pull those out. And so you try to forget about them way on the dark side. All right. Behold the moon, a reflective ball of stone orbiting our planet, tugging all the water on the planet, including the water inside our bodies as it moves. We all know everyone goes a little crazy when the moon is full. And if you're in healthcare, you definitely know that, right? Uh-oh. Gilmore can help with the dark side of the moon. Yes. Hello. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Everyone knows the moon is female. It's wide, pale body, open to everything we can project onto it. The moon card in the tarot is a repository of fear, from anxiety and jangled nerves to outright insanity. It represents nightmares and confusion, the experience of the vanishing sun made individual, personal. Who turned out the lights? It represents both confusion and confusion's opposite, intuition. Even with electricity, nighttime is still the bed of sex and violence in our world, the time when crime strikes and magic is made, when people are most likely to alter their consciousness to become a bit more like the moon, perhaps. Possibly more fears arise, more tears are shed at night under the moon than during the day under the sun. Perhaps the card deserves its status as representative of madness, but feminist histories of madness and lunacy make it a little hard to co-sign. Why does the moon sound like me naked? Hey, I forgot it was Tarot Tuesday. That's okay, Jack. Hi, sweetie. It's followed by the Eight of Wands and then the Sun. The Eight of Wands was not kidding. Hey, you know, that's not bad, though, to have just the Eight of Wands in between there. As someone who works with the moon magic regularly, dutifully making new moon intentions, charging my crystals under the full moon, tracking what's left of my menstrual cycle through its phases, I think the moon card could use a tune-up. If there is a fear it represents, it is fear of the unknown in all its terrible permutations. When the moon card comes for you, there is likely to be some element in your life that you can't get a grip on. More needs to be revealed, and you are antsy or scared. The moon always does reveal more and more of itself, but takes its own sweet time. The moon requires you to be patient and to trust. Saw my doctor and she took some tests and she wants more tomorrow to check my liver, kidney, gallbladder function. Hi, Krista. Welcome. We're glad to have you here. Jack, I don't think that's unfortunately. I think that hopefully that will find something that, is going on that's making you sick and they can fix it. And then that'll be done. So don't be afraid of the shadows. How apropos. When the moon card comes from you, there is likely to be some element in your life that you can't get a grip on. More needs to be revealed, and you are antsy or scared. The moon always does reveal more and more of itself, but it takes its own sweet time. The moon requires you to be patient and to trust. The moon dares us to make friends with what scares us, to get familiar with our boogeyman. Shake paws with the monster under the bed. Look ourselves in the mirror at our most emotional and love ourselves. When working with the phases of the moon, following as it moves through the zodiac, something calming occurs. In our world, being in sync with even a single natural cycle can feel profound and full of magic. With moon magic, more is always revealed. So again, this is why I got this shirt. Because how many times do I talk about the cycles of the earth and how everything in life is going through those same cycles of birth, of growth, of, hardships, and then of death, and then of rebirth. And we are all going through those cycles. Everything in life goes through those kinds of cycles. We all fear the unknown. Even the most skeptical among us feel a little shiver down our spine in a dark alley full of shadows. Thank you, Leland. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Krista, you've stepped into the best community there is. These are the most beautiful people you will ever know. Starting with you, Dana. I just made a straw doll out of checkgrass because I am that awesome. You are awesome, Milton. All right. If the moon has come for you, it is not the time to make any sudden moves. Do not commit yourself to anything or anyone until you have more information. And trust me, more information is coming. The sun always follows the moon, which always follows the sun. Cycles and cycles and cycles, right? Hi, Erica. The moon might be drawing your attention to your own cycles of emotion and energy. Is there anything worth nothing? Is there anything there worth noting? Is there anything worth nothing, really? Poof! If this card represents a person or situation, it is one best avoided for now. If you find yourself battling fear, dare to look it straight in the face. What is your monster? Is it possible to befriend it? Can you grab it? Can you look at it? Can you bring it into the sun's light, or at least into the moonlight so you can really see what it is you're dealing with? Could you at the very least make friends with the ebb and flow of life itself, so elegantly illustrated by the phases of the moon? This is a great time to trust your intuition, to cast spells and keep dream journals. This card is ruled by Pisces, who is, in a sense, afraid of nothing. being one with the universe, and the universe contains all. Remember that when pondering your fears by moonlight, this thing that frightens you, is it inside you as well? Ah, I love her. Michelle T. She's a great, great author. I almost said it out loud. There's nothing worth nothing, but then I thought of the opinions of and hippies and anybody stoned into incoherency. Actually, they say weird things. Hi, Jennifer. No fear, right? Well, we know we have the fear, right? We know we're the crayfish crawling out of that primordial ooze. We know that we're like, I don't know, look at that path in front of us. Can we really go that path? Am I really ready to step forward? Am I getting ready to do that? Am I missing something? Is everybody good? Sorry, I you know me, I get squirrel time. So we know the fear is there. The trick is to tell the fear to fuck off, right? The trick is to say, I know there's fear, and yet I move forward. I feel the fear and still move forward. Can we keep moving? Can we at least find what it is we're so afraid of and define it? Because often if we can find that fear and define it and say, this is exactly what it is. Why am I feeling that? Oh yeah, because in my past, because this, because that, because it looks so shadowy and scary. If we can at least define it, then we are able to keep moving. We might still be carrying it, but we can at least keep moving. Walk through it, shine a light on it. That's right. You are talking to Jennifer. Can you cap up? Yes. Thank you, Marge. Please. Thank you. Thank you. That's a great suggestion. Makes it easier for me. Okay. So, I'm trying to remember how many cards I pulled out. I've got quite a few. Okay, I've got more than I thought I did. Let me go through really quickly because I did pull out again. I really thought that the tarot by Cecilia, that stuff went pretty well last week, didn't you? So I pulled out a couple more. I only have 3 this time. Just a few. Love the monster is often looking out from the mirror, out of your own eyes. Time to face it. Make it useful, make it a friend, or at least keep it in view. Yes, I face my shadow self, bitch, in the darkness. If you can't face your own self, you definitely can't face spirits, deities, angels, demons. That's right, for sure. So 3, I'm going to do 3 Tarot by Cecilia cards because I really liked them last week. I don't know if you guys got something out of it, but I thought they were great. And so I'm just going to do 3 of them. Shadow work is great. And so this is, hi Linda, welcome. So this is a great time to do shadow work when the earth is in darkness, right? Don't forget that Yule is the longest night, and that's coming up. We're almost there in a couple weeks. All right, so here we go. The first one is the 78 Tarot Mythical Edition. I'm friends with the monsters that are under my bed. I'm friends with the voices that's inside my head. Yay! Yeah, she's definitely a witch, right? Emma, we're going to do a whole shadow work series. I'm just waiting for Yule to be over to really begin it. But we are going to do a whole series of shadow work, okay? And I did a series a year, 2 years. I can't remember now. I did a series before. Of course I cleanse my Yule decorations, for sure. Okay, so here we go. Tarot by Cecilia. So first she says the card story, which the artist, if you can't tell, is Jasmine Beckett Griffith, you know, the one who does all the big-eyed girls for all the Oracle decks. And this is Celine. So is Cassie still on here? Celine is her goddess. So each card incorporates well-known gods and goddesses, mythological figures. And since I have the moon, I wanted to evoke Luna, Celine in my piece. We are also supposed to reference traditional tarot imagery, so our cards are recognizable to readers. And I'm incorporating a couple of wolves or dogs and the two pillars, as well as the crawdad. Whoops, who is, there he is, over there on the side. Oh, look, it did it. I'm so excited. Yay. As well as the crawdad from the Rider-Waite deck. And as a nod to the early Flemish tarot, so one of the very early tarot decks is the Flemish tarot. It's kind of its own tradition system. I'm giving the female figure a distaff. You guys know what a distaff is? So hold on, let me get it to focus, hopefully. Hold on. All right, there it is, kind of. So can you see it right here? A distaff is a spinning staff for when you use to spin wool, which goes along with the spinning wheel and goes along with spinning the wool and connection. And it's very interesting that it's all connected, right? In her hand. I'm very excited at the unusual lighting source in this piece, with Luna, Celine being somewhat backlit with the beautiful crescent moon, and have worked out some dynamic shadows and highlights along with the color scheme. So the card's message says Celine stands before the moon, flickering fireflies floating around her. Behind lie shadows, two wolves snarling at each other across a river, and a crawdad coming out of the river onto the bank. In the darkness, the simplest things can cast fearful shadows, a branch appearing as a skeletal hand. And it is then that you need to listen to your heart, when your senses can deceive. Listen now to your intuition. Pay attention to that nagging feeling telling you that something is not quite right. Things are going on that you're not aware of, and it's time to make sure you're in possession of all the facts. It's a good time to check that motives and intentions are true before you act. Celine is the personification of the moon in Greek mythology, her Roman counterpart being Luna. Also the primary goddess of the moon, she is known for driving a moon chariot across the galaxy and heavens, for being surrounded by stars and guiding her chariot through the night. With a skill for seeing through the darkness and the feminine energy combined with the moon, Celine is an ideal characterization of our mythical moon. Seether utilize the distaff. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. You got a Hecate visit that scared the bejesus out of you, Jess. She does that sometimes. She is not she's a dark goddess for a reason, but she's awesome. She's just a dark goddess for a reason. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Then the Crow Tarot. Okay, so this one is the Crow Tarot. Love this card. Love, love, love. So again, this is Tarot by Cecilia. Her creepy dog is very protective though, Jess. And once you make friends with it, it will protect you also. Card meaning. In a dreamlike state, the crow rests on a branch, staring at the moon as it reflects a darker image of herself, her dark side. Below the crow, there is a pond that represents the subconscious mind, with a caged raven symbolizing her wild side that she attempts to restrain out of fear. So she has put her wild side into the cage. It is part of herself that she tries to conceal as it evokes feelings of shame. The moon illuminates areas where we project our insecurities onto others, and in doing so, we fall victim to our own harmful and destructive powers that have infiltrated the psyche. Sit by the light of the moon and travel inward to find areas where fear and anxiety have taken control. The moon asks, what are you concealing? Learning to recognize and accept all the parts of our being, even the components that may be considered weaknesses, is essential for being whole. It is beautiful, isn't it? I love the reflecting pool there. I love the caged crow that she has put in there herself. So she, can pretend that she has put it away from her. Yes, Mom Squirrel, the Cerberus, her dog, was protecting me for something I later found out. It was just I bet it was scary. I know. It's, like I said, I know it's not a happy-go-lucky kind of time, but I love Hecate. I love working with Hecate. I work with her a lot. Okay, and lastly is, because I couldn't find Spirit Song, which I was going to do Spirit Song too, but I don't know what I did with Spirit Song. It might be one of the decks that's put away. But this one is the new deck that I haven't shown yet, that I'll be showing this weekend at some point, which is the Whispering Spirits Tarot. This is the same artist that did the Mons Tarot, which I love. I don't have it, but I love. A baby witch, so I definitely wasn't ready for that. Well, Jessica, just hope that you're ready for the Horned God if he decides to show up eventually, because that can be a little overwhelming too. Okay, so Whispering Spirits. The moon card, which is so awesome to see today, is just like the full moon itself, which is tomorrow night. Well, technically it's Thursday, but the light of the moon is dim, asking you to let go of your fears in order to move forward on your path. The light of the moon is dim, thereby making it difficult to see exactly where you're going. But by releasing those fears, you open up to the guidance of the universe and know that when the timing is right, you will emerge in a place which is exactly where you are intended to be. And that is where that intuition comes forth. That sometimes you have to trust that you are exactly where the universe intended you to be. Dana and I were talking today about how I'm honored that the universe has used me to and I've said this before, but to be a conduit to bring all of this squirrel family together so that we could do everything that we're doing for everyone that we're doing it for. But especially in this time, that the stuff that we're doing for Dana. I'm sorry you're not feeling good, Shauna. And I really feel like the universe has put me in this position, at least partially, to be in this position to bring together the healing that we have been bringing together for Dana, because that's what was needed. So when you think of all the things that have to happen in your life to bring you to where you are, exactly where you are at the exact time that you are here, that should make you feel like you need to trust your intuition. You need to trust that the universe, even though you might not be able to see around all those shadows, you need to trust your intuition. If your intuition is telling you that this is the place where you're supposed to be, then this is the place. This is where you're supposed to be right now, today. for a reason. Right? Love it, love it, love it. Love it. Okay. Shauna, elderberry syrup. Go get elderberry syrup. I know, a little late I did that, right? I'm sorry. Okay. So let's go through some of the other cards that I have pulled out. The first one we're going to go to is the Sun and Moon Tarot. Is it the Sun and Moon? Yeah. Sun and Moon Tarot. I love this tarot. You know why I love this tarot? I mean, I love this tarot for a lot of reasons. I might have to get the big deck eventually. Is the big deck still around? It must be. But I love the fact that on the wolf side of things and on the dog side of things, both sides have a lighthouse. So in this deck, there is a source of light, both for your wild side and for your more conservative, shy, fearful side. And both sides receive a little bit of light to try to shine a light into the shadows that you need to see. Right? I'm going to get my grass doll, a mask with horns. I do not know many groups in England used to do that, but it's still slightly historically accurate. Yeah, there has to be, Milton, because there was the Celtic Cernunnos, and that's not like it was far. And certainly a lot of people from England came over to Ireland, and there was Celts in England. So yes, I do like the water in between and the Pisces. There's fish at the bottom there. Hold on. Right here at the bottom, if I can get it to do it. Come on, I know you wanna. So the fish are dancing. So I really like this. Shines a light on the shadows on your tame side. Yes, your tame side too. That's right. Lots of spirits at lighthouses. Yes, for sure. The Welsh tradition of Mary Lude. Ooh. That sounds so familiar. Like I learned that at some point and then my brain lost it. So I'll have to look it up. Because boy, that sounds familiar. So this is the moon card from the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. And I did pull the sun card. I think I did this when the sun card came around. But I love the cards that you can do that with, that they kind of show the source of the light and then the reflecting light. So this is the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. I love the cold breath of the wolf. To me, that cold breath is kind of her calling out and saying, you know what, I might be afraid, but I'm going to seek it out. I'm going to seek out my shadows. And so the wolf call is her. If you've never read, come on, you guys, help me out. The Woman Who Ran with Wolves. She Who Ran with Wolves. What the hell is it called? That's an excellent book. But it makes me think of that. Like we are the wolf. And so that call is us saying, the Mary L is actually right next to me, and I had it on my list. And I didn't have time to pull it, but it's right next to me. And yay, I was going to say, and if it's still in order, then I'll be able to pull it. Sound of a Wolf Call is extremely powerful. Yes, 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 yes. For sure. Here we go. So the moon in the Marielle is this. And again, this is another one of those cards that has the reflection and then what it is reflecting. Wants me to help them. So the sun is the light bringer and the moon is that reflection. Love, love, love that moon card. Love the vulture behind her in the moon card. The fish are there for the Pisces. Yeah, they really are. The Marielle is a powerful card. I'm waiting to see if the new Marielle, if the second edition of the Marielle, if the problems are solved. I still have not seen a video that says the problems that were there are solved. But there's a place in Colorado called Wildlife Sanctuary. They have a pack of wolves. I was lucky enough once to be there when they fed the wolves. The chills from 10 wolves howling at once. Oh, I bet, Pat. Wildlife Sanctuary in Colorado. That's not the one that Trump allowed them to kill them all, right? That has really been ticking me off. Anyway, Westchester, New York. Yeah, the Marielle is a wonderful tarot, and I want it because the cards are borderless. Beautiful. Good. Because the cards are borderless, I want, yes, that deck is called the Marielle. Yes, and it is an amazingly powerful deck, and it is one of the absolute Schiffer sent you a replacement, and it was perfect. Yay, that's the first time I've heard that. So I might order it soon. I've been waiting to see if they fixed it or not. The Marielle is one of the decks that I highly recommend for shadow work. I do not read for other people very much with the Marielle, but for shadow work, it's an amazing deck. All right, this is the one I always have. Hi, space between the notes. How are you? This is the one that I always have a hard time naming. Forest of Enchantment, Enchanted Forest, whichever it is. Thomas, I missed you too. This is actually entitled Moonlight. And this deck has been really hitting me. I love this deck. So here we have, the Moonlight Hares. Thank you, Marge. We have, I hope this will, yes, good. Okay, kind of. Glares are kind of, oof. I don't know why. There. Nope, don't go out. See the kind of wild looking hair? Why doesn't it want to stay here? See the wild looking hair? And then the, it's trying so hard. It really is. And then so we have the wild wolf dog, and then we have the domesticated hare here. And then in the background, we also almost have a spirit hare, right? So it's kind of in the shadows and kind of showing up because of the glint of the reflections, and the moon is in the reflecting pond. You're not actually seeing the moon. Now you're seeing the reflection of the reflected of the moon. And because it's in the water, you're seeing, is that a wild hair cliche? You're seeing some of the ripple effects. You're seeing some of the different things that you may, you may not be seeing clearly in the reflection of the moon. Love this card. Love, love, love. This one is also from a deck that I have not done an unboxing on, but hopefully you've seen it. This is the Light Keepers Tarot. And wow, do I love this card. I don't know why. Why? Normal. Okay, do normal. Light Seers, thank you. My stupid phone just does not want to stay focused on the card. It wants to focus on stuff in the background, which really annoys the shit out of me. So I changed it. It's doing better, but not as good as it could be. So here she is in the water. So under the water, here it is. The shadows, instead of seeing all the shadows that you would see with the moonlight, when you're in the water, everything is muffled and just distorted. So the fear that is keeping you from surfacing and seeing the actual beauty of what you can see. Look at this gorgeous full moon. If you just looked at this part of the card, and I don't know what she says about it because I haven't read the book yet, but if you're looking at this part of the card, it's beautiful. The stars are out, this gorgeous full moon. It's reflecting off the water. And then you see her, this sad kind of scared face in the water. And it's almost like she's hiding, right? She's hiding from her fear. And in the water, when you're in the bathtub and you went underwater and then suddenly you can't hear anything, it's like your ears are plugged and all you can hear is your heartbeat. Which way will she go, right? Towards the dog or towards the wolf? And she's too afraid of this new feeling, this new spiritual awakening that she's had with the star, to surface and make a choice, make that decision to surface and face it and move forward. Whichever way she wants to move forward, she needs to do that. It's so beautiful to me. God, it is a really, truly beautiful deck. And it's a feeling deck. It's very much I feel the shit out of this deck. This is one of those decks that you kind of pull it and you go, oh yeah. I don't feel like I need to read the book for this. She's not a mermaid. She's a regular person. It's just her legs, she's wearing a skirt, I think. And so part of her skirt is coming up and you see her leg here in some of the water, and then part of her skirt is flipped down. Waking the Witch. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. I don't know that one, Marge. She's the crawfish. That's right. She's the crawfish. Hold on, I've got all these. Amber alert. Yes, she's the crawfish. Yes. If the above the water and below the water is also a metaphor connected to the as above, so below, right? And breaking its surface is important. Yes, see her in the shell. Thank you, Jack. I know, I keep thinking that this is a shell too. So it is almost like she's wrapped herself up in this protective shell. That's a great, great observation. I love that, Thomas, that as above, so below, because that is so part of this. The magician is able to pull things from above and use them in this realm. And with the moon, that it's that fear that keeps us from saying, I can do this. I have the intuition. I have learned so much. I have become this more enlightened person. And I am going to trust my intuition that I can now move forward into this life with a different outlook. with it's a different me now. That star is all about that enlightenment, that seeing things like you haven't seen them before. And the moon is about being able to put that into action. Can you do that? Can you step forward? Can you face that fear? Can you use your intuition to look into the shadows that the moon is reflecting for us? Could be out daily for me, and I would always find new ways for it to help me. Right, Dana? Me too. I know. I just love the moon card. It is one of those make or break cards for me. I need to see the moon card usually in the deck. There's the piercing of the surface to see above and under the surface. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's a book. Waking the Witch. Somebody messaged me with that title, so I remember it. Or Stephen, write it down for me, my second brain. Moon is a shiny pebble in the galaxy. For sure. For sure. All right, this is a good one. Love it, love it. So do I want to save this for last? All right, I'm going to save that one for close to last anyway. This one is, did I pull it out? Yes, I did. Okay. This one is also one of my new decks. This is one I'm going to be unboxing this weekend. This is the Visionary Tarot. Thank you. And I like this deck a lot. You'll see when I do the unboxing, it is, I saw that, Pat. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. You'll see that it is kind of a black and white deck. It is kind of on the simple side. You just bought the Lightseers Tarot. Yay, Deb! We enabled another one. It's kind of a simple deck. And sometimes I like the simple, just give me the symbols. You did? I got another subscriber. Jordan subscribed. In the Visionary Tarot is that simple deck that gives you the symbolism, and I feel that black and white thing. I don't know. I think I'm going to like that a lot. Right? I seriously need to win the lottery so I can buy all the decks I want. I know. I agree. Thank you, Linda. I love my shirt too. This is a part of my biggest thing that I talk about, right? Is the connections and connecting to everyone and connecting to the wheel of the year and the energy, and everybody goes through that same energy. So we can help each other when we connect by moving each other through the cycles. Love this one. And I'll be doing an unboxing on this one this weekend also. This one is one I got this autumn and quickly became one of my favorites. This is the Tarot of the Unknown. This is the one based on the cartoon Over the Garden Wall. Everything about this deck I just love. Because the symbolism is there. The symbolism is absolutely there, right? Yes. See, just come live in my commune, and then you can play with all my decks while you're here. I don't mind. The symbolism in this deck is always there, and it has that cute side, but it's deep. This deck is really deep. As much as it's cartoonish. This deck it hits me every time I use this deck for a draw. I love this deck. Tarot of the Unknown. It is based on Over the Garden Wall, the cartoon. And here we have talk about the wild dog. Boy, do you know which one that wild dog is. And then instead of the pillars, we have the hollowed out trees here. And instead of the crustacean, the turtle is coming out. Isn't that cute? Cards and witchy books everywhere. Yes, and that's what I'm trying to build with my pagan library, guys, because I expect at some point for us to have the commune up. And that's the one Jordan has her on. She's 11, but it would be perfect for anyone. Absolutely. I would totally give this deck to a child because they would get it too. And I love it as an adult. Anyways, yes, that's why I have been building my pagan library for so long, is because I fully expect to have a commune that everyone can come and sign out a book and bring it back. And absolutely. Yay! West. I love it. All right, so that's an awesome one. Love it. I could not do a moon card comparison without doing this deck, which the universe does not want me to use very much. Dark Mansion. I do love this card. This card is probably one of the main reasons I bought this stupid deck. Yes, would you? I just want to come pet your Scullies. My family hates all the random creepy shit I bring into my house. Anyways, this card specifically, I just love. And what did I write about this card? I wrote something somewhere. And of course, now I can't find it. Did I really? I lost what I wrote. Damn it. The fact that she's holding the river. First of all, the fact that she is the moon. I love that this woman is the moon. That she is reflecting the light. That she is the conduit for the light reflection. I love that the water is in the form of this winding river, and that she has control of the water. That she's able to control her emotions, which is what water represents in the tarot. Her fear, that to me is her controlling the fear that she has. And she has complete control. Not only does she have the river now in her hands, she also holds the keys. The keys are on her side here to opening up whatever doors she needs. It does crack me up that the dog, now the wolf is in the background, so she has left behind her wild face, but the sane face, the calm face dog is terrified. So it shows me that you can be terrified and still keep that in control, and still know that you have control of your emotions, that you can be fearful and still walk forward and still reflect the light.
You keep fucking with me and I'm not happy about it.
Right? Does that make sense?
Oh, I got your tail.
Thought you were all talking about actual skulls. I'm like, cool. Oh, poor thing. Yeah, we all have crystal skulls. Like, see, this one is one of my dragons. She's been with me for, I don't know, a month now, but she's, this week, she's one of my guardians, so. Okay. Next is the No, but I know a guy. This is the Everyday Witch Tarot. Love this deck. Love this card. Love that there is, the witch reflection on the moon. And I love that the fearful side, the wild side in here, the stuff that you try to keep in the shadows about yourself, the stuff that you're not also proud of, is the reflection. So it's not actually real. It's how she sees herself sometimes, but is not actually the real part of her. That's just sometimes what her fear makes her see. So sometimes our fear makes us see ourselves differently. Sometimes the things that we're most afraid of, and we're like, oh my gosh, I know. And this can be, both internal and external. Sometimes we're like, heaven forbid you get a zit on your face and you're like, oh my God, it's like a crater. I cannot go out like this because it looks like everybody's going to zoom in on that. And really people hardly notice it. As well as the emotional fears, the spiritual fears, the inability to walk out and say, hell yeah, this is me. I am here and I'm going to be totally and completely myself. And if somebody doesn't like it, it's up to them. Because what we see is this scary thing on the outside. And we think, I'm never going to be able to walk outside like this. I can't show the true me because nobody will accept it. Look at how ugly it is. But it's not. It's not. That's just the moon's reflection playing tricks. Don't forget to trust your intuition and know that you are worthy and step forward. Right? I'm hitting you right in the gut. Well, it's true, Adrian. You know it's true. Love this card. Love, love, love. True Black. I did not get the book out for True Black this time. Playing tricks, you got me crying. Aw. You know I love you, sweet pea. Here's True Black, that deck that I will never use, but I will use for arty cards forever. Because it's so pretty. God. So this one is the moon's reflection is obviously what we're seeing. Because it is falling away like a waterfall in the middle. So the hand up top, to me, that is our true selves. And we are able to reach in and control what we need to control. But this is our fears, right? This is us saying it's all going to fall apart. It's all going to come apart in the middle, and I'm not going to be able to stop it from wasting away and dripping down and losing all of it, leaking out. And we can do that, because guess what? The actual moon, if you can see the play of, right? I would too. The play of light, you can see that the light is actually coming from up here. Is that her own hand? It's not in the picture, it is, but I believe that's our hand. That is our actual ability to control, to control the emotions that we have, to control how we see our shadows, to be able to reach in to that shadow and pull it out at least into the reflection. Remember in the beginning, we were talking about the sun's light is that bright, harsh light of day. And sometimes we don't want to pull our shadows into the light of day yet. we can at least pull it into the reflection of the day, which is the moonlight. We can at least pull it out and say, okay, what can I get an idea of what it's going to look like? What is on the surface is an illusionary reflection. Yeah, me too. Me too, me too. Such a great deck, the True Black. And I wish that, like, it wasn't a deck that I don't ever want to ruin or bend or anything. So I would actually use it because it's such a good deck and it's so deep. But I would be afraid that I would bend it or do something, or the cat would pee on it or something. All right, this is the new 5-cent tarot. The moon of the new 5-cent tarot. I do like this deck also. It's kind of busy. You have to get used to looking at it and being able to kind of download all the information that it has. But I really like it. I like that the actual reflections are there. So the pillars are reflected. So it's actually only one pillar reflected off of itself. And we have the reflection of the dog is the wolf. And the crustacean here is the crawdad is in the middle. And then we have the keywords, which I have found to be very helpful. For upright is subconscious, intuition, and illusion. And I would also add imagination, because when you have taken that enlightenment stuff from the star and you're ready to move forward, sometimes it's just using your imagination to say, you know what, I can imagine this working out right. I can imagine this actually happening. And being able to step forward, whether you're afraid or not. Why did you erase that? You didn't have to erase that, Pat. They got their Scullies from Mystic Dragon's Lair, which I think is a great place to do that. So then the reversed, totally lost my head what that's called. The reversed image says repression, confusion, and fear. So that gives you an idea of see if that helps a little. What the reversal is going to look like. Okay, we're getting close to the end. We're doing good. Oh, I forgot my magnifying glass. Damn it. For the you-know-what deck. Okay, Green Witch. And this is not so outside the box. It's very similar to a lot of the other decks. I do kind of like that she's here alone. You can almost picture this witch here alone comes upon this pond in the full moonlight. And there's fish jumping, and just the feeling of this card I really love. It's kind of like seeking out. She's already stepped down that path, and this is her fund. So saying yes, make sure that you do, Dawn, that you trust your intuitions, because then your reward is great, right? Your reward is, this is what you get to come upon because you stepped forward. The salmon of knowing. Yes, yes, yes. And I love the stars and it's just beautiful. There's also the growth of light from the star through the moon and then finally to the sun, right? Because the moon is a star too. So it just happens to reflect more of the sun's light. For sure. This one is the Lay of 9 Worlds deck. This is my, Norse tarot deck that I just am loving. I can't wait to get his book for some of the interpretations. I really would like to hear what he has to say about them. But we have the moon card here, and this is Odin on his horse, which I'm never going to be able to pronounce. Sleipnir. Pat will help us out with that eventually. Sleipnir. I don't know. I can't remember. But this is Odin. And so I love how we have the waxing moon here. And instead of seeing the sun on the other side, first of all, we have snow because, it's Scandinavia. And second of all, Sleipnir. I know, right? Pat definitely needs this deck. But we have Odin in place of the sun there, which Odin is, the all-knowing. Looks like Rochester to me. Yep, for sure. Especially tonight, because I'm pretty sure it's still snowing. I get to go back to Murderville in the morning. Looks like the chariot going over the moon, right? So what does the chariot mean? The chariot means you have control of that. Or slip near. I'll never get it right. It doesn't matter how many times I do it. I'll never get it right, but thank you. I'm going to have to go over to Denmark. That's one of the things I haven't done that I meant to is because just so much has gone forward progress. Yes. Is I have not revealed all my ancestry stuff. I got the 23andMe thing done, and it was super interesting, and I found a lot of interesting things. And I was going to reveal it, and I still am at some point, but I just haven't had a chance to do that. But I knew before that I had a strong relationship with Denmark, which I do, mostly in the Copenhagen region and also a little bit up in northern Denmark. But that is not most of my heritage. There's a myth about the moon and sun being chariots, moon and sun being chariots that are chased by two wolves, and at Ragnarok, the wolves will catch and eat them, causing the end of the sun and moon. Oh, that's cool. Now I want to hear about that one, Pat. I think you need to do that one. Have you done the Yule one yet? With sleep near, and that's where reindeer came from, is the 8-legged. Good. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. Okay, now we're gonna go to about sleep paralysis. Jessica, I have known people, actually my husband had a bout of sleep paralysis, and it's very scary, and usually it does not indicate a problem, but it's something to look at. Oh yeah, before we go to the book ones, I am going to show you, this is the King's Journey Christmas edition, I think is how you call it. This is by the same people who do the Dead Weight deck, the Dead Weight Tarot. Oh, it's on the back. The King's Journey Christmas edition. So I had to show this one because it's so right for you all. So here is the King's Journey Christmas edition. And of course, we are seeing, I love everything about this card. I just think it's so cute because guess what? Instead of having the wolf, now we have, oh, I don't see the dog necessarily either, but guess what we have in the background here? That's right. Who is that in the background? Who could that be? It's Krampus. Yeah, that's right. Yay! And the pillars. Yeah, look at the pillars. And I really like this. You can't see? Hold on. I don't know why my camera today doesn't want to. Look at the braids. Today my camera doesn't want to focus up close. It's focusing better far away. But yes, it's Krampus. So the wild version in this card is Krampus. And Santa. Good night, Space Between the Notes. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you coming. So I did change the, the settings. I believe it is, and I believe it's still available. If you look, it's, the same people that did the deadweight deck. If you look, this one is the King's Journey Christmas edition. And I think it's still available. I know the other one that they did, the Rider-Waite. Lucy's getting it, and he's waiting for it to come. It's supposed to come soon. Krampus and Black Pete rock, right? I believe it's still available. All right, so let's do the Everyday Enchantment, the couple decks that we're going to read from here tonight. This is a great card. I really like this card. The story. Who am I? By Owl's Beak and Dog's Paw, I swear I'm not entirely sure. I only know that I'm what you dread most, and all you strive not to be. Marginalized, despised, and ostracized. My owl friend, my underdog, and I are castaways. Downtrodden, down and outs, out and about. I could be an oddball muttering curses on the road to nowhere, or the sage tramping a path to enlightenment. But who'll get close enough to find out? Will you? Whether I'm an inspired lyricist or a gibbering idiot depends on your perspective. I wouldn't know. I've lost my perspective. I'm harebrained and a hair's breadth away from the loony bin. So throw me away, put me away. Am I making myself clear as the moon's appraising gaze? Cold Mother Moon has a fickle, frosty face, but she sees beyond the transient trappings of modernity to the shining verities of eternity. I'm her bedazzled acolyte, moving out of sync to her erratic beat. Can you hear Luna's tick? Her silvered pendulum swings widdershins, bewitching time and tide. Who rules the waves? Who waves the rules? Can you feel the same wild power moving you? Moonlight shines on everyone, but not all feel that pull and respond. And if they do, they may become tidal, suicidal, or the most exquisite spirit poet. We can't resist when her undercurrent takes us lower or her bone-white crest lifts us higher. There's no happy medium with the enigmatic Queen of Night, only profundity and the sanctity of insanity. She sends those who dare to dream to the icy rim of reality. We venture into the hollowed hollows for the sake of those who will not journey. We solve the riddle without reason, but with rhyme, and such pariah prophets deserve honor, not persecution. People need spellbinding with a gossamer cobweb instead of being bound by convention. Remember this, won't you? Because I've already forgotten. Who am I anyway? By crow's beak and fox's paw, I swear I'm not entirely sure. Good night, Witchy Woo. So, do any of you understand that card? I love that description, but I know it's not a straightforward description, right? Priapic. So this is the reflection of Lady Luna. This is the reflection that can, depending on your viewpoint, can look at things and see exactly what is there, or can look at things and see something in the shadows that you made up in your imagination. Something under the bed that isn't actually there. The shadow on the wall that looks like the monster. The poet that is the lunatic. It talks about the way the moon's reflection shines upon things. You can either use your intuition and your spiritual enlightened consciousness to see things exactly the way you need to see them, or you can use your eyes, and only by what you can see, you're not going to see everything. Do you know what I mean? Your vision is not all you need. You need your intuition to see by moonlight. If you're only looking by sight, you're not going to see things correctly. Does that make sense? Hopefully that gives you a good sense of the card. I just love the way this is portrayed in here. It could be anything. But if you use your intuition and look with your third eye, with your intuition's eye, you can see in the moonlight what you need to see. But the moonlight can be tricky and be showing you things that are not exactly what you think they are. Okay, so just be careful that you're not being tricked. Know yourself enough to be able to step forward. Okay, here we go. One more. And that is the El Goliath. And I will see if I can read without I forgot my magnifying glass downstairs. Okay, La Luna. The moon is one of the oldest and most fascinating symbols in the history of the world. And much like the sun, its opposite counterpart, it is all about illumination and things being seen and shown with no place to hide. We arrive here on the journey of the little mouse, the fool, at the moon card. This is one of the most beautiful cards in the tarot. The moon rules the darkness of the night skies. The light of the star shines bright and has guided him or us here. But firstly, I have to remind myself time and time again that the moon has actually no light of its own. It's only able to bounce the light coming off other things and act as a giant reflector or mirror of what is outside of itself. As this is a shadow deck, I wanted the moon card to really embody that raw primal truth. I particularly like this card in black and white as it clearly shows its glow. At a young age, I used to lie in the grass in my backyard and look up at the moon and wonder about its mystery, wondering if it was a star or another planet. I used to stare up at it so much, studying its glow and shape. I didn't know why, but even in the dark, the moonlight used to feel like it had some kind of power. The moon card is all about the parts and phases of the shadow self that we keep hidden from within. Things we don't let come up to the surface of ourselves, like a certain mystery in the soul. It's about things that we hide and keep hidden within. The moon is very much about the night and the time that things come out to hunt and feed under its dark cover. Suddenly, when I think of the moon, I'm instantly taken back to the feeling of what lies beneath. The moon is about dreams and astral travel. Very good. All right, so we're going to stop with that. We're going to go quickly to the before and after to see. Oh, you know what? And once again, I forgot to, damn it, pull the Tarot of New Visions card, which is, the behind card. But I did pull the before and after, so.
Okay.
So, here we have, this is the before, and this is the present. Am I doing that right? Hold on. Is that, yes, okay. So what do we have? This is the light shining down from the sun, perhaps, warming the crawdad here and inviting him to crawl to the surface, kind of tricking him into opening himself up, coming to the surface. And then the dog and wolf start going crazy because the actual light now disappears and is just shining into the sky and has pulled that crawdad to the surface for sure. What did I miss? The moon is a sexy card. Think about it. Passions of the night, secret liaisons, naughty things happen under the influence of the moon. For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Also associated with Scorpio. I had not really heard that, but I could see that. I mean, with the crawdad there and everything. It is also associated with Cancer because a lot of times this is, a crab. But it is Pisces, technically, which is why a lot of times you'll see the Pisces fish of knowledge. All right, and then the after card. So now we have the Traveler. The Traveler has come, and both the dog and the wolf are going crazy, kind of greeting the Traveler. Does that look like that to you? In Tarot Familiars, the rabbit looks away from the sun and looks into the moon. Ooh, that's cool. I like that, Lady Blind Wolf. Does that look like that to you, that this is you? Perhaps? You finally decided to step forward, use your intuition, and walk forward even in your fear. The rabbit in a lot of cultures has connection to the moon. Yeah, this before and after I think was actually helpful. I wish I had pulled the Tarot of the New Vision. I totally forgot. I'm sorry, you guys. It's downstairs, which is, I'm having a hard time remembering everything to bring up. I'll try to remember next week to bring it up so at least we can see what it was. Okay. All right. And let's go to my Stevens notes here. So if we are pulling this in a reading for career and finance, the moon indicates that things may be somewhat unclear. Things may not be entirely as they seem. There is a path through the situation, but you will have to trust your intuition to guide you. This card may also indicate fears concerning career or financial matters, which have to be worked through. In health, the moon indicates that there may be some fears and uncertainties regarding a health situation. The path to healing is there, but it is likely to be a long journey of subtle changes rather than a sudden breakthrough. Oh, that's right. If the strength card is also present, then this emphasizes that connecting to your inner power will be key in this process. Practices such as meditation could help. And relationships. The moon suggests there may be some uncertainty about the relationship and a lot of underlying emotions at work. Be careful of projecting your feelings onto the other person. Look inwardly to honestly deal with your own thoughts and emotions. That's the one thing with this card, because it's a shadow card with relationship readings, especially if this comes up, then we may be projecting our emotions onto that other person, our fears. So if you're fearful of doing something wrong, you may be projecting that onto your partner. And in general, the moon is a card of mystery, things that are hidden, inner reflection, and potent spiritual energy. Light and guidance are present to illuminate your path through the darkness. Love it. Love it, love it. So this was a good study, right, you guys? I love the moon card. I'm really glad that we were able to study that one because it's one of my favorites. And how much do you want to bet that at some point the Night Sun Tarot, the moon card depicts our shadow side? Does it? I'll have to pull it. I don't have all my decks out right now. Nice. Right time in time for the full moon, right? For sure. I have no idea what I was saying. Oh, I was going to say, how much do you want to bet that the card that I pull is one of my favorite cards? It might not be. There's a couple that I'm like, okay. But I love the tarot. You're so welcome, Krista. I'm so glad you came. I hope you will subscribe and come. We do this every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And you are welcome to come. We pull the card tonight that we'll be studying the next week, so that you can look at the cards that you have, because 90% of your cards are your favorite. I know, right? Okay, let's pull. So, whoops, I think it's back here anyway. Oh, I don't want to drop them. So what do we have? Page of Swords. Wow, isn't that 3? We've gotten 3 out of the 4 pages now. I believe we have Page of Pentacles and Page of Wands, right? Is that what we had before? So we're only missing the Page of Cups. No, we had shoot. Now I'm not remembering. We had at least 2. I can't remember now. But Page, I know this is at least 3 out of the 4 pages. Yes, Krista. If you click in my About section on YouTube, there is the Facebook link. Hopefully that works there. Tomorrow night is the full moon healing session for all of us, but especially for Dana. We're going to be doing that at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to have some special guests with me. Stephen is going to be on, I think I talked him into it. My guess is he's fallen asleep. I haven't seen him for a little while, poor Stephen. And Lucy and I think Dave is going to be on too. And then we'll see who else I can get to come and join us for the full moon ritual. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. At some point tomorrow, I'm supposed to come on. I have like 12 other videos too. Yes. I know, Dana, I'm psyched. The other thing is, keep in mind that those of you who are in the healing chat will know this, but Sekhmet was introduced today. When I was talking to Dana, I have used Sekhmet before in healing work a lot. And Sekhmet was introduced to Dana very strongly today. When I was talking to her, it was it just totally came over me that she is supposed to be working with us for Dana's healing. And so I'm going to do a video on Sunday probably to introduce us all to Second and to her energy, because she's pretty fierce. She is really, yeah, smacked us right in the face. She is really a very fierce and powerful goddess. And we really felt like she really stepped up and said, no, I'm going to help heal this. And this is happening. So I'm really excited about that. Odin is sending his power also. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We'll take everybody, right? So I love you guys so much. You know how much I love you. I will create the event in the Facebook group as soon as we get off. And we will see you all tomorrow for the full moon healing. Yay! It's your birthday, Pat. Oh, I'm so excited. Now I'm excited. I love you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.